and welcome to this very special presentation of Salesforce's release readiness for Spring 17. As always, we have some bonus footage for you. We hope you enjoyed this very special presentation on our Marketing Cloud. But before we do, let's review Salesforce's forward-looking statement slide. If you're unfamiliar with this slide, it urges Salesforce customers to remember that Salesforce is a publicly traded company, and any and all purchasing decisions should be based on currently available functionality. Simple as that. All right, without any further delay for myself, I'd like to pass things over to the team so we can get introduced and into the presentations.
Hi, my name is Bobby Jania. I'm a Senior Director of Product Marketing for Marketing Cloud. And today we're going to review the new Marketing Cloud Connect Lightning user interface, some new code snippet features for our email studio, as well as some new features in the Marketing Cloud mobile app.
Hi, my name is Luke Ball. I'm a Senior Director of Product Management on Marketing Cloud, and I'm going to talk to you today about what's new in Social Studio.
Hi, I'm Chris O'Hara. I'm Head of Global Marketing for Crux, and today I'm going to introduce you to Crux, which is the new Salesforce data management platform.
All right, let's get started. The first thing I want to talk about is how Marketing Cloud Connect, our tool that allows you to synchronize all of your data from Sales Cloud and Service Cloud back to Marketing Cloud, it now has the new Lightning user interface. And so what that gives you is it gives you the Lightning experience, just like you experience in Sales Cloud, and it really makes it simple. Because now to set up the data syncs, it's just point and click, no code, anyone can do it, no technical skills required. Through this new interface, you can actually monitor the progress and health of all those data transfers. So I can go ahead and see what objects am I syncing, are they syncing, how many records are moving over. And we've added some smart options like the idea to do an email filter. And what that means is that you might not want to sync contacts into Marketing Cloud that you don't have an email address for because you might not be able to reach out to them. And so by syncing all of your sales and service data into Marketing Cloud, you can really create these messages that are much more personalized and much more relevant to that customer because you're really putting the customer at the center of everything and really making an individual approach for that 360-degree view of the customer. So what I'm going to do without any delay is actually go ahead and jump in and show you what this looks like. So here I am inside of Contact Builder within the Marketing Cloud. And I can see all of my data attributes around the given contact or around a given customer. I'm going to go ahead and click into my data sources. I can see by default I have data sources coming in from the Salesforce Marketing Cloud, from our email application, from our mobile application, and even from some of our predictive intelligence. If I click on the Synchronize tab, I can now start setting up any synchronization between Sales and Service Cloud. So all these cards represent what's currently set up. I can see standard objects here inside of Sales Cloud. I can see how many rows have been synchronized. I can see if it's currently being synchronized or if the effort's being paused. To add data is really easy. I go ahead and just click this Setup Object button here. And right away you'll notice, if you're familiar with Lightning, this is the Lightning UI with the easy step wizard. I can see all these tabs. I can see some are clearly standard objects, or some might have some more unique names that are more likely custom objects that our customers might have created. I'm going to go ahead and search for the lead object and click here to synchronize it. When I actually start to synchronize data, I'm able to choose all the fields I want to import in. So I can choose, what is more relevant for marketing. So I don't have to bring every field in, but I can go ahead and select which ones I want, which ones I don't, and the tool will even select for you what it recommends to bring in. So I'm going to go ahead and select these fields, and now I can actually figure out how I'm going to do the synchronization. So I can do all of the records. I can do what I mentioned earlier before, only records that have an email address, or I can even do records since a certain date. So that in case you started doing more data integrity or data cleaning, that you don't want to have some of your older records be moved into Marketing Cloud that might no longer be relevant. I can also set up how often I'm going to do the synchronization. So in this case, I have it where every 15 minutes the data is going to be synced to make sure that I'm very up to date and near real-time synchronization across Sales Cloud, Service Cloud, and Marketing Cloud. And what's amazing about this is that this is going to automatically create a data extension for me in Marketing Cloud, automatically name all the fields. You can see here the field name in Marketing Cloud matches the field name in Sales Cloud, and it will also determine what the field should be. So if it's a date, it's now a date field in Marketing Cloud. If it's an email address, same thing, Boolean logic, text, calendar, all of that is captured back in. And again, this makes it where anyone can do these data synchronizations, no technical skills required at all. And suddenly you can use all of that great sales and service data to do more enhanced marketing for all of your customers. So we're really excited about the Marketing Cloud Connect with Lightning Sync there. Second thing I want to talk about is this idea of what we call code snippets. And so code snippets are think being able to write HTML or write AMP script for Marketing Cloud, and you want to reuse it all the time. But maybe it's not as big as its own content block where you don't want to have just to take up a block. You want to be part of inside of a block. So with code snippets, we're able to go ahead and save that, and then you can recall it very easily while you're creating an email or something else through the editor. And in doing so, you can go through and select it from a pull-down menu, or you can actually create its own customer key and go ahead and put that key in, hit tab, and the code just appears. And what I'll do is actually show you what that looks like right now. So here we are inside of Marketing Cloud, and we're inside of our content builder. And the first thing I want to do is I want to create a new code snippet. So I'm going to go ahead here and select code snippet. I'm going to go and be able to see the preview of everything I'm going to create right here. In this case, I'm just going to paste in some code that I've already written. I paste it in, I'm able to see it pop up here. So the example I'm giving here is a footer. I use a footer all the time in emails. I want to be able to do it once, replicate it, make it super easy to add anytime I want. So I can see all my HTML here on the side. I can see what it will render as. I'm going to go ahead and save this. I'm going to name it footer. And I'm going to do that custom key that I talked about before. I'm also going to name it footer. And this will allow me to really easily access it and just insert it into any email I'm writing. So we're going to go ahead and close this out. We're going to go and jump into an email. Let's go ahead and create a new email. In this case, we can go and select from one of our existing templates. So the email tool has all these templates to help you get started without having to stare at a blank screen or a blank email. No one wants to do that. I'm going to name this Spring 17 Release Email. From here, I'm going to continue on, and we'll see that template pop up. And what's going to be really great is I'm just going to drag over any block. In this case, I'm going to take an HTML block and just drag it anywhere on this email. And as I see here, I can put my code in here. I can go ahead and I have this little pull-down menu here called Insert Code Snippet. If I go ahead and pull it down, you can see footer right there, what we just created. You can also see a bunch of system ones we've created. They're just kind of out-of-the-box templates for you. My personal favorite feature on this, though, is I can go ahead and just type footer and hit tab, and all that code just pops in right there. So really easy when you start coding emails to create once, reuse often, and kind of take the complication out of writing AMP script and HTML over and over, because no one wants to fat finger it and make a spelling mistake somewhere.
Yeah.
So really excited about the new code snippets feature. The last thing I want to talk to you about is our Marketing Cloud mobile app. So we released a new version. The mobile app's awesome. We released it last year at around time for connections. So last year in, I think, May or June, right around that time frame. And we've now released a new version where it's now running the Lightning experience as well. So when you log into the Marketing Cloud mobile app, you have the home dashboard that looks just like if you logged into Marketing Cloud elsewhere, that Lightning UI with those widgets that we're used to. We've added some new features, so you can now send SMS messages and reschedule and pause all of that inside the mobile app as well. What we're really excited about is we released an Android version. So I believe the last time I was sitting here, you asked me, when is an Android version going to be available? I can now say that starting January 30th, you'll be able to download the Android version from the Google Play Store.
Great news.
So we're going to go ahead and jump into that Marketing Cloud mobile app and do a quick walkthrough. So here we're actually in the Android version. And you can see right off the bat, I'm in this calendar. I can go see what I've got scheduled on a given day. I can scroll through here and start figuring out, what automations do I have? What emails do I have? I can jump into my email. I can look at what's scheduled email-wise. I can go ahead and scroll, see what emails I got going on, what emails are currently in progress, what emails I might have recently sent and have been completed. Have all that great tracking data in here. So if I can look at what the performance of an email is doing, how all of that is going. And I can also look at all my automations. So I can go ahead and look at what automations I have scheduled, what automations I've recently completed. One of my personal favorite things is you can also change the business unit directly from the app. So a lot of brands will have sub-child brands, and you want to be able to switch back and forth from context. Even in the mobile app, you can do that without logging out and trying to log back in. You can just switch those business units so you can keep track of all of your marketing activities while you're on the go. So we're really excited too about this new mobile app and having the new Android version available.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, if you don't mind, I do have some questions that come to mind after you show me these things. I think I'd like to start from the beginning with the Marketing Cloud Connect with Lightning Data Sync. Okay, so I know I can import standard data objects, but what about all the custom objects that a lot of our customers use? Can they start importing those also?
Yeah, so anything that's inside of Salesforce, a standard object, a custom object, all the fields inside those objects, you can choose what you want to import, and you can choose what you want to synchronize, and set it up where, again, every 15 minutes, any data that changes is refreshed and synchronized in Marketing Cloud.
That's excellent news for our customers who rely on those custom objects. Now, so for these excited customers, I know they're going to want to get their hands on this. So, how do they do this? Is this an added product, or what do they do?
Yeah, so to get Marketing Cloud Connect, you actually can get it through the App Exchange. And so you can go in there, and it's available to any Marketing Cloud customer that has contacts turned on today. And you can go in the App Exchange, install it, you basically set up your account where you give it your credentials for your Sales Cloud access or your Service Cloud access. And from there, it's going to be able to log in and see all the fields that are there. And so when you go into that same screen I showed you before, you'll see the standard objects and custom objects for your account because you've associated the two accounts together.
Wow, excellent. Okay, well, let's move on. Let's move on to code snips because I think there's a lot there with the reusability of them. But speaking of reusability, I mean, I may not necessarily want to use the same code snippet in the same way every single time necessarily. Do I have the ability to go back and edit old code snippets and sort of alter those a little bit?
So a code snippet in the end saves just like any block would inside a content builder. So I can go back to that block and I can edit that block. And in doing the editing, I can change the source code, I can change the name, I can change that custom key we showed that actually inserts all the code. All of that is editable at a later point.
Great. So, I mean, this may not make the most sense, but we can take that footer, make some edits, and then transform that into our header also.
Or doing something where you retire a footer and you want to save it for archival purposes, but you want to keep the footer shortcode for the new ones so that it's still easy to type in, but you have that old one still saved in case you want to reference it later on.
Excellent. Well, that's great news for our customers. Great. Well, having covered that, I actually do want to move things along. I'd like to pass things to Luke so he can tell us even more good news.
All right. Thanks. I would love to tell you today a little bit about Social Studio.
Yes.
So Social Studio is still a relatively young product. We launched it in 2014, and just like the rest of Marketing Cloud, we've been releasing 5 times a year with a ton of great new, stable, reliable features at a consistent cadence. And our new January release, Spring 17, is no exception. So that comes out on January 30th. And I want to talk to you today about a couple features that I love. Building on some great features we added in November and coming out here in January is the new custom dashboards. So this allows you, social marketer or social analyst, to really trick out, if you will, your social dashboard to stay on top of all the KPIs that matter to you, whether it's broad listening and analysis or staying on top of the metrics that matter most to you on your own social accounts on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, et cetera. And we've added the ability to drag these around, drag and drop, snap to layout, resizing, mixing and matching different content sources all in one dashboard. So rather than show you on a slide, why don't we jump into it and show you the real deal? So if you look on my screen here, you can see my dashboard gallery. I've created 3 dashboards here. One, I'm the same Northern Trail Outfitters brand that Bobby just showed you. And so we care about what people are saying about camping and national parks and things like that. We're listening for all mentions on the internet about it. I got one for my own Facebook dashboard and one for my own Twitter account as well. So historically, these have been separate dashboards built from template. But now I can go in, and let's go into the broad listening one. And I can show you some of the things we added with these great new enhancements. So I'm going to click Edit here once this renders. All right. It's very powerful. We're pulling in a lot of content. We're looking at 9,000 posts over the last 7 days on video sites, Twitter, blogs, comments, news sites, Facebook, et cetera. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to edit this dashboard because I love the layout. I love the template. I can see a word cloud here, the top words people are talking about. But maybe I want to make it my own. Maybe the word cloud is really important to me. So I'm going to pull that up to the top. But maybe I don't want that to be the biggest thing on the page. So in fact, I'm going to resize it a little bit and just make it 2 columns wide. So this resizability is something that's new in this release. Furthermore, maybe I want to modify the filter on this particular word cloud to just be things with positive sentiment. So I just want to see sort of what are the words that people are saying when they're excited about camping. I'm going to apply that there. So you can see now I've done drag and drop layout. I've done dynamic resizing, and I've done individual card filtering. So all very powerful and very exciting, especially when you look at how these were originally templated dashboards that were a little bit more prefab. You can really trick these out. But what's cool now is in addition to that, and the ability to add other cards, maybe I want to add the sentiment card, not the sentiment card. Let's see the... Let's go back to the top words card here for negative sentiment as well, right? So I could see that. So I could compare what people are saying with positive sentiment to what they're saying with negative sentiment. So I'll do my camping topic profile here. I'll set up my filter, and just like before, we'll do negative sentiment here. So now I can kind of do a comparative analysis of what's happening. But this is all still from my broad listening data source. So in addition to this now, we can add in cards from other templates as well. So in addition to social listening, I can bring in one from my Twitter dashboard. So I could see maybe a feed here of what people are saying on my Twitter account for my Northern Trail Outfitters Twitter handle. Or I can put in my follower trend to see how my follower fan count is going on that same social account. I can do the same thing with Facebook, with Google+, Instagram, YouTube, et cetera. And you can see here, actually, let me just pull in Instagram as well. Pull in my sentiment graph on Instagram. Oops, I don't have an Instagram account, apologies. I got banned. So you can see I'm going to save this, and you can tell, I'll just delete that one, actually pretty easy to do. I'm going to save this dashboard, and you can see now I've got a mix and match dashboard. I've got a feed coming in from broad listing and another one coming in from Twitter. You can see my Twitter follower trend, which unfortunately for this fictitious brand is pretty flat. And I can see my word clouds filtered by positive and negative sentiment all in one place. Pretty cool. And you'll notice too, what was originally a broad listing type dashboard is now sort of a mixed dashboard, and you can see all these different data sources come together. One little bonus thing I want to throw in, you might notice here we got some smiley faces and a thumbs up. We've added support for emoji as well inside of Social Studio. This is a really great addition because not only can you now publish posts and add some smiley faces or thumbs up or devil horns, whatever you want to put on there, I can also now see these in my UI, and we do sentiment analysis off of it. So you can see here that I've got positive sentiment driven off of these smiley faces. So our sentiment engine's picking those signals up as well. So that's just a quick demo of some of the great new features on the dashboard. There's a ton of other stuff too. We've added some compelling new screens to the command center so you can see performance of your social ads, your Facebook ads right in the command center. We've added Facebook reviews, so those are showing up in our automation engine in the command center. We've added great keyword segmentation tools for our advanced analysts, more CSV export, and many more. So we're really, really excited about the spring release, and yeah, hope everyone enjoys it.
Excellent. Well, I think they will, but let's ask some questions just to clarify and make sure. All right, so speaking of sentiment, I loved what you showed me about the emojis. I think that's fun, that's new, that's different. How deep can we go with that? I mean, is it just positive, negative sentiment, happy face, crying face? Or?
Yeah, so we have a sentiment engine working in Social Studio that's analyzing the content of every post as it's coming in and looking for different keywords or other attributes of the post to indicate whether it's positive, neutral, or negative sentiment. And with the addition of emoji now, we can use those signals to detect them. We're actually, this is a little bit nerdy here, but we're looking at the admin sentiment screen for our administrators to tune their sentiment engine and make it their own. And you can see here as the sentiment score is being calculated, it's taking, we got a smiley face with hearts for eyes. Yeah. We've got a happy face, a sad face, an angry face. We have, I think, about 40 or 50 different emojis that are sentiment bearing. And then you can actually go and tune these and manage your model and actually change what the value of that emoji is. So maybe I don't want it to be positive 5, but 0.2, sort of medium positive sentiment. I can actually go in and I can make that my new sentiment value. So whether it's the poop emoji or the laughing, crying emoji, you can really tune those and make those fit for your brand.
I think that's amazing because it allows us to take control of how we interpret those emojis.
That's
because
right.
Our users, our customers, the individuals we engage with might use those differently than some predetermined set.
Right.
Love it. Great. Okay, so having said that, what are you guys working on now?
That's great, and of course the safe harbor slide that you showed before applies. But we're working on a lot of features from our hardcore legacy Radiance 6 users to make sure that they have everything that they need inside of Social Studio to move over with confidence and with ease. So things like the advanced keyword segmentation that I showed you, more improvements in reporting and alerts, and more enhancements around our insights engine as well. So we're really excited to bring those forward in the next couple of releases.
All right, very cool. But if I was a longtime Radiance 6 user who has not yet moved over to Social Studio, what would you say is like the most important thing that I need to keep in mind?
I think the most important thing you need to know is that under the covers, it's the same data, the same topic profiles, the same listing data, the same user accounts. So if you just go to socialstudio.radiance6.com and log in, you can see for yourself how easy it is to get started, that all your topic profiles are there, and that we have a lot of amazing enhancements that are only available in Social Studio, including this new sentiment engine. So I think there's a lot of carrot to move to the new application, as well as a lot of ease of transition with everything you need already being there.
All right, but socialstudio.radiance6.com is where they should go to make that check?
Yep.
Excellent. All right, well, thank you so much for that, Luke. But I am personally excited to pass things over to the new kid on the block, Chris O'Hara. Tell us about Crux.
Yeah, really excited to tell you about Crux. Salesforce acquired us. I think we're about 75 days into our Ohana journey as part of Salesforce, so we're really pumped up. And today, unlike telling you about a lot of new releases inside Crux, I thought we could spend some time just talking about what is a data management platform, how it can help our customers, and how we kind of fit in with the overall Marketing Cloud and the rest of Salesforce. So that being said, I'll dig in and kind of tell you about it. I think we're founded in 2010. So we're probably the premier DMP. We have about 200 customers across the globe, helping gigantic marketers like L'Oreal and Anheuser-Busch InBev, and also big publishers like Tribune and the New York Times and the Wall Street Journal. And the way we think about marketing is that customer experience, or CX, is the way every big brand and publisher is going to market. Because just like you get great movie recommendations from Netflix, or Amazon can tell you the next great thing to purchase, customer experience is something people expect nowadays, and it's very hard to do in a new world where people have tons and tons of devices. So before, they used to engage on TV or print or radio, and this one-to-many sort of aspect to marketing where you could reach a lot of people with a single message. Now people are on mobile phones and tablets, and they're walking around malls and being pinged by beacons. So there's a lot of data and a lot of signal around what we do and what our affinities are and what we like to do, which is really hard to gather and put in the context of a single person. Because we know devices and browsers and mobile IDs don't buy anything, but people do. So that's one of the challenges Crux is looking to address. The other thing is, we know as marketers, even a lot of the marketers we work with, they have a ton of great data. They have social data, which we were just talking about. They have mobile data, tons and tons of great CRM data, sales and e-commerce data, right? And even online data, people who comes to their sites, people who download their mobile apps, stuff like that. But that data lives in individual silos, so it's very hard to get an understanding across different data, if the person who bought that hiking shoe from Northern Trail Outfitters also saw an ad, or if that person was a historical purchaser, or if they liked you on Twitter. So Crux has the idea that if we could bring all these disparate silos of data together, we can make marketers a lot better at what they do. So this is, over the last couple of years, resolved around the idea of a data management platform, or a place where you can store and normalize and connect all this data together. And it's really what analysts like Forrester and Gartner are considering really the thing that every modern marketer needs to kind of be the glue of the new connected marketing experience. So what do DMPs do? At its very heart, a DMP sort of collects and aggregates all that great data, first-party, second-party, third-party data. It seeks to attach it to a person, so you can build really interesting audience segments, right? And so when you go out to market, you can identify who are the cereal moms who buy all the food for the family, who's in market for the next family vacation, what B2B customer is looking for the next piece of software, and tie that to a person and make it actionable. So if you want to get a little more in the weeds, what Crux really does is, through a series of different infrastructure and architecture and pixels and so forth, collects all your web and mobile data, collects your email data through now a great direct connection with the Marketing Cloud tools, e-commerce data, such as from the Commerce Cloud, certainly CRM data from Sales Cloud. We can connect directly with beacon and location data. So where are people? What are they doing? What's the weather like? What friends are around them based on their mobile device? And things like social data and sentiment and stuff like that. So we take that, we put it all into Crux, we normalize it, we associate it with that person, and then we have the ability to actually ingest it and push it out to all the places people now spend their time, right? On Facebook, right? On Instagram, on Snapchat, on Pinterest, e-commerce environments like Amazon and Walmart, programmatic media, right? Big-time ad exchanges, and also very high-quality places like the New York Times and the Wall Street Journal, where people are engaging with content. So what do we do for our customers beyond just all this nerdy collecting of data and pushing it out into different places? We actually help them think about the way they go to market. So using data to get better audience segmentation so they can plan better, activating that data across the channels I described, using the data to figure out how to personalize. So ConAgra is one of our clients who markets Hunt's tomatoes, and they have a great relationship with Meredith's allrecipes.com. So when a mom's looking for that spaghetti sauce recipe, Hunt's can show up with that ad for tomato sauce. So mom, next time she goes to the store for that recipe, can have that top of mind when she's in Kroger, right? The ability also to optimize. How many messages do we really need to get every single month for a certain product? Figuring out how many is that, and then suppressing too many messages, but also making sure people get enough messages to be able to purchase and really engage with the brand. And finally, what I'm really excited about is Crux is powering Einstein with some really unique, deep data insights from looking across 4 billion connected devices and browsers every single month. So imagine the insights you can get from Crux now that we have an Einstein-powered data science element where all the custom analytics you need to do, cross-device identity, all comes together and really helps marketers, pinpoint the exact marketing strategy they need to go to market with to be successful. So all that being said, I'd love to jump into the platform with the help of your computer and kind of take you guys through what this looks like. So in this example, I'm looking at a bunch of segments I've basically put together, and one of them I've actually imported. This is Northern Trail Outfitters, right? This is our client. They built a bunch of segments. One of them I've actually imported from Salesforce Marketing Cloud. It's a selection of high-propensity hiking customers. And I want to dig in. And the first thing you'll notice is what Crux shows you is there's 11 million people I brought over from ExactTarget, right? And they are associated with almost 30 million different devices. So we show the composition of that. Some are coming in through browsers, some mobile devices, some even Safari, which is a different type of identity. And then the marketer can see over time how that segment has grown. But what I really want to do here is, because I already know these customers, is see how I can enrich this environment with different types of data available in Crux. So if I come over here, I can add some different rules. So as you see on the left, I have a lot of first-party data on this left rail. I have second-party data. These are from trusted publishers I have a relationship with. Of course, Crux has the world of third-party data, income data from Experian, purchase data from Datalogix and IRI, so all kinds of rich data. And here I've already sort of pre-built a segment based on a few things. So one, we collect media exposure. So for this campaign, I want to reach people who have been exposed twice to my ad over the last 2 weeks and get those last couple of impressions in over the month, so I really engage customers. Second thing I want to do is take some e-commerce data and even offline sales data and say, I want to reach people who have purchased hiking boots before, but also people who have purchased other camping gear, right? Tents and backpacks and pants and shorts related to hiking. So I know that they're frequent purchasers of this type of stuff. And then the third thing I want to do is, because I have a relationship with Rodale, go in there and see anyone who reads Hiker's World or is an active subscriber. Rodale has given NTO the ability to actually ingest that audience and engage with those people. So that's an example of second-party data, really high-quality second-party data coming to play. So now that I've done that, you might imagine what I want to do is actually go into the system and see, okay, I have very few of these people, relatively 10 million. How do I expand that audience? So there's a number of ways to do it, and this is what we call hand-curated lookalike modeling. So instead of being a black box, I can go into Crux, look at all these third-party providers, look where I can get reach on a very similar audience that I have. Maybe it's through people who also like health food. They're likely to be hikers, right? People who are into home improvement, so they're active lifestyle type people who are fixing their homes up, right? Or I can dive into second-party data, and here, if I provision these relationships with high-quality publishers like Meredith or Men's Health or iVillage or The Times, I can actually go through and select and find those healthy moms or people who are into parenting, and select that segment even based on the index score, where it's similar as saying, I want to find the people most similar to my audience, select the ones that make sense, and then grow my audience similar to a shopping cart, where I just pick out that audience, add it to my segment, and then after a while, as we grow that audience, you'll see the ability that we've actually taken 10 million people, turned them into almost 40 million addressable individuals, and associated those people with 93 million devices and browsers out on the internet. So now I can target them where they are, on mobile, on tablet, on desktop when they're at work. And then the best thing about Crux is the ability to actually activate that audience immediately. And that means the ability, right now, we have you under the Partners tab, because we're still a little bit early into the relationship, but bring that data back into the Marketing Cloud, activate it programmatically on places like DoubleClick or places like DataZoo, AppNexus, e-commerce environments like Walmart and Amazon, and also direct to publisher through DoubleClick DBM or any other system like that. So that's just a quick snapshot of what we're doing. And we're super excited to be part of Salesforce.
And we're excited to have you. I'm even more excited after seeing how well you were able to just segment and activate that audience right there. But as a customer success manager, I mean, you won me over early. You know, anytime we start talking about breaking down data silos and integrating data together, you've already won me over. But if I was a more traditional marketer, can you explain to me and just distill the message into what does Crux mean to me as a Salesforce marketer?
Yeah, if you think about when marketers have first-party data and personal identifiable data in their CRM, in their sales console, they know a lot about their customers. They know exactly how to reach them. They know what they bought before. So it's almost not easy, but it's easier to be a marketer when you know stuff. But now that everyone's engaging, when someone comes to your site, they come as a cookie, you don't know who that person is. It's hard to understand what message should I serve them, who is this person, what are they into, and create personalization. So I think the power of Salesforce being the ultimate place to do marketing to the known customer, and now the addition of Crux, where it's the best place to do marketing to the unknown consumer. When those two worlds come together, it's like peanut butter and chocolate, right? It's the whole 360-degree view of the person, and that's what we're excited to bring to existing Salesforce customers and also new customers.
Excellent. Well, you've given our new customer, all of our customers, both old and new, a lot to be excited about. So thank you for sharing, and I can't wait to see how Crux grows within the world of Salesforce.
Thanks, we're psyched.
Excellent. Well, that about wraps everything we had for this very special presentation of Salesforce's release readiness. Thanks for joining us, and we wish you the best in success.